Hello guys and welcome to my first tutorial ever. I don't have a microphone at the moment, so I thought I will do it with this ugly computer voice. Let's get started. So this is how I actually started this remake. First step was to create a new audio track, and insert the original track. It's important, so you always have a reference point, to check if everything is on the right place, the volume and so on. Let's put the original track on top, so there is free space to work below. It's also good to give it a bright color, and also give it a name. So you always know right away, this is the reference track. Find out the BPM of the original track and type it in. I like to say, I am not an expert in any way. There might be other, even better ways to do this, however. This is just how I did it. The best thing to do at the beginning is to lay down the beat, the whole melody, cymbals, and everything. One after the other. Try to select some more or less similar sounds for everything. Make sure everything sits on the right place. Do not start with layering or EQing and stuff, it will take a lot of time, so let's save it for later. Use this energy to lay down everything first, so you will be happy the next time you open this session, and then you can move on to searching the real similar sounds, and then start with the EQing, and all the other stuff. For example, this is how it looked when I first started this remake. I laid everything down first, like I explained before. Maybe one or two EQs here or there to cut the low and the high end, but nothing big. While laying down the beat and the melody, I can turn the reference track on and off to check if everything is in its place and what comes next. Note, the reference track is set slightly too late so we are able to hear both tracks and all of the drum hits better. It can get hard sometimes, if you really can't recreate the sound. Move on to the next one and try to deal with it later. Let's take a listen. You get the point. Let's get back to the finished track. And take a look at the drums. I am just going to break it down a bit, and maybe turn some effects on and off, so we can hear the difference. Everything else would take too much time. Let's go. So we got 2 kicks, 2 snares, 1 cowbell, 1 hat, 1 clap, 4 toms. The rest you see in the drum rack is unimportant, they are just some similar sounds I did not use at the end. Let's start with the kicks. When it comes to synthwave, there are some things that stand out to me when I hear it. One of the things, the kicks. Most of the time the first kick is louder than the second kick. It sounds like the second kick is almost buried under the snare and the clap. But it's still there. That's why I keep less low end on the second kick. And also added 2 sidechain compressors with different settings, one for each kick. Let's take a look at the effects and stuff. For both kicks, very simple, just a little EQ, saturator, a bit warmer, and for 90% of the time I got a compressor at the end of the effect chain, just to smoothen the attack or transient. However, I add this only for drums or plucks, things that have a sharp attack, so it does not hurt the ear. On the first snare we have an EQ8, cutting the low end, and also a little bit of the high end. A reverb, and again, the compressor at the end to smoothen the sharp attack, transient. Let's see how it sounds without the effects first, and then, how it sounds with the effects. Now the second snare. We have two different reverbs, 2 times EQ8, again to cut the low and high end, one simple delay, and at the end again the compressor to smoothen things out. The last EQ is affecting the whole drum rack. For the rest of the drums, I am not going to name them all, let's just check it out like this. The 4 toms are all the same. I just transposed them a few tones, and added a different EQ to each one. When I say, it's simple, I mean the settings, on the EQ, or other effects. The hard part is, to find all the similar sounds, and shape them within the synthesizer or with some EQ and different stuff, so they match the frequency, the volume, and note length at the end. It can take a lot of time. All you got is a reference track. Let's get to the bass. The bass is very simple. We got 4 different layers, one of them is turned off, because I did not use it at the end. Let's delete this one real quick. Now we got 3 layers and one grouped together. One with the low end, one low mid, and one mid to high. And also, the EQing and stuff is very simple here. From now on, because we got 2 kicks, we also have 2 compressors with different settings at the end of the effect chain, the first kick with less threshold, and the second kick with more threshold. Let's take a listen. There is one more thing that stands out. The velocity. The first hit is louder than the second one, and so on. Let's move down to the string. Also very simple, one EQ8 to cut the low and high end, and also boost it a little bit. Reverb. Cars, auto filter, and the 2 compressors at the end of the chain again. Plus the utility, to control the volume or width of the sound. As you can see, both, the volume and the auto filter are programmed, to fade in at the start. Let's take a listen. I would always test, if everything is on its place, the fade in, the volume in general. The bass, note length and timing. With the reference track up there, set slightly to late, it works very good, and it's also convenient to turn it on and off whenever you like to check something. Let's do a quick test. Luckily it's already done. Now to the first build-up. It's made simple, but it also has some automations. This is where I was not so happy, because I could not recreate it. It sounds so simple on the original track, but for me, it was the hardest part. Let's play back without explanations. Next part. Symbols. As you can hear, it's really nothing special. Almost not worth mentioning. I did them way better on my other remake. Miami Nights, 1984, Elevator of Love Remake. You can check it out on my YouTube channel if you like. Second build-up. Also some automations and effects going on. I also could not recreate it, so the only way was to come up with something else. Let's take a look without much talk. And last but not least, the synth. It's also very simple. Simple saw wave, there almost no effects on it. Just some light EQing, our two sidechain compressors, and a light delay inside of Silent 1. That's it. The important thing is the note length. And the port time, or the glide time, it's the same. They are set to different rates, as you can see by the orange lines. Let's check it out. And for the end, let's test with the reference track, if everything is on point. Volume, note length, low end, high end, and stuff. We already know that it's all set up. But just to show how good we can hear both tracks at the same time. The master track is almost empty. I don't know much about mastering, so I try to keep it as clean as possible in the mix. All I got is a limiter, set as default, to keep it safe. And the utility to slightly boost the overall volume. Alright yo, that's it. I don't think this was a real tutorial, it was more like a breakdown, or something. I had some requests. So yeah. That's it. What I learned, it's good to know the basics, and to feel comfortable using your DAW. For the rest, just go with the flow, and try different effects and stuff, until it sounds right to you. It does not matter how you did it at the end, as long as it sounds good. Let me know if you liked this or not. And make sure to check out my other remake, Miami Nights 1984, Elevator of Love Remake, on my channel. I also got something new coming up soon, can't really say when, but it's in the works. Stay tuned. Peace out.